All right, here we are. Here we are. All right, friends. So we're gonna come on down to the mats. Welcome to Sweat with Timaree. Welcome to Pilates. My name is Timaree. And as we're doing this workout, as always, I really want you to be present in your experience and you're gonna feel what's happening with your body. So that's gonna mean that some stuff's gonna be really easy and you're gonna be able to scale up and do modifications to make it harder. And other times it's actually gonna make more sense for you to rest or to scale back. So you're gonna make that decision based on how it's going. All right. So sometimes the smartest thing to do is to chill the hell out. Is that music still playing? Whoop. All right. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Spotify just decided it was like, nah, fuck you. Let's try that again. Not that the music is the most important part, but I would like you to have it if you can. All right. Can y'all hear music? Can anybody confirm? Music sharing? Yes, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So it has been a fun, exciting adventure with technology over the last month. We are learning so many new skills that we will take into the future with us. All right. So again, rededicating ourselves to the purpose, mind-body connectedness, listening to our bodies as much as we tell them what to do. So with that, let's take a couple big cleansing breaths. And again. Hand to the opposite knee and rotate. And then we're going to take it over to the other side. Bring it on back into the center. Switch which leg is in front. And again, a couple deep breaths. And again. We're going to walk those hands as far forward as we can get them, keeping both butt cheeks on the ground. One more deep breath here. Roll it back up to sitting. And then we're going to pop it up to standing. So you can be on the mats, you can be on the floor, whatever is going to make you happy. I'm going to tilt this back up again. So I'm going to come to the mat because it helps me with the traction. Personally, I'm going to turn the knees and toes out nice and wide. So the heels draw towards the center and the knees are out to the side. So not the corner, but to the side. There is a weight on my tailbone, drawing it straight down, and a string from the top of my head up to the sky. And we're going to lower down, and the knees are going to go out to the sides. So they're not going forward. It's not like a standard squat where the butt goes back. Instead, again, I have that weight on my tailbone, taking it straight down, and the string from the top of my head up to the sky. So I'm very much just in this one plane of motion. I'm like a piece of bread in a toaster. We're going to lower those legs down and squeeze the butt to straighten back out. 3, 2, one more time, and then we're going to lower it back down and hold it. So I'm tucking that tailbone under, shoulders are back, and I'm super strong, and she's coming in here to correct my form. We're going to take a deep breath here in this plie. Lift and lower one heel. So as we're doing this, my height is going to stay the same. I'm not bouncing. All that work is just happening in that one leg. I'm going to lift and lower that heel. Lift and lower that heel, keeping the same height the whole time. So I'm not bopping up and down, isolating that work here. 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring it on back up. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Big cleansing breath. And again. So I'm going to reset, making sure that my toes are headed out to the sides and my heels coming in. Tailbone tucked under and lower down. So as I plie, again, I'm not having my butt go back, so it's not like a squat. Instead, I'm thinking about being very vertical, just up and down. And even though we all have these very juicy booties, we're gonna tuck them under rather than pushing them back. Squeeze, 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 squeeze in the butt, especially on the way back up. 3, 2, one more time, and we're gonna go back down to that plie, and we're gonna hold it here. So chest is lifted, shoulders are back, tuck the tailbone under. We're holding strong in this plie. Take another big breath. And then we're gonna lift and lower. The heels on the other side. She wasn't like this for a while. For like the first several weeks, she did not give a damn about what I was doing. And now she's like, oh, Is there a tension? So I'm gonna lift and lower that heel, keeping my height the same. So all of that work is isolated just to this one leg. 3, 2, and lower it back down, raise it back up, and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Big cleansing breath. And one more time. We're going back down again. So I got to reset because I probably shifted. So my toes are out, my heels are in, shoulders are back, and I'm going back down to that plie. And as I do this, again, visualizing that weight on my tailbone. So I'm going down and up, not forward and back. String from the top of the head up to the sky. Thinking very vertical. Bread in a toaster is the vibe. 3, 2, we're gonna lower it down and hold it. So again, I gotta make sure my heels are in towards the center because unconsciously we might start to turn out a little bit. And we gotta stay strong here. All right, we're nice and stable. One heel, the other, both. One heel, the other, both. Now I gotta reset because I realized I stepped out too wide. So if you need to reset, same thing. One heel, the other, both. One heel, the other, both. Notice that my height is not changing. This is all staying down in the legs. One heel, the other, both. One heel, the other, both. Alternating which one I start with, because I want to balance this out. Again, if I need to reset my feet, this is kind of a hard thing to sustain, so you might need to reset at some point. We're gonna make sure that those toes are turned out to the sides, not to the corners. Whew. 2 more. One more set starting on each side. Whew, one more. And then we're gonna lift both heels and hold it up. Shoulders are back, tailbone tucked under, heels are lifted. Can you go any lower? Can you go any lower? Can you go any lower? 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake it out, 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 shake it out. Yeah, Zoom notification every time. Okay. Shake it out, shake it out. Big cleansing breath. One more time. All right, so before we get down to the mat, we're gonna rotate so that we are down at one end with plenty of mat in front of us. So thinking runway. All right, so I'm down here. Head comes down, shoulders come down, unzip down the spine. The upper body hangs heavy. I'm gonna drop the tailbone and stack the vertebrae to roll back up. We're doing that again. Rolling it down, head comes down, shoulders come down, like I'm unzipping the zipper down the back of my spine. Drop the tailbone and roll it back up. So that's just how we get up and down. I'm gonna roll it down, and then this time, I'm gonna walk it out to my modified plank. So a modified plank is the one where there's a straight line from the head through the hips to the knees. So this is distinct from resting back here in a quadruped, and it's different from this, like a cobra. So what I'm looking for is that really straight line from the head through to the knees. And for this to work, I drop my heart. So I'm not rounding my back. I drop my heart. So there's empty space between the shoulder blades, and I'm squeezing my butt cheeks like I'm trying to hold on to a quarter, and core is super strong. So modified plank may not be very difficult for you, but we really want to focus on the quality of the form here and being really present in what we're doing. Take another deep breath. Tuck the toes under, push the butt back, walk the hands back. Drop the tailbone, roll it up. So we start out with that modified plank because it is always an option, and it will continue to be an option for you. Roll it down. The next option will be to take it out to a standard plank. So a standard plank, we have the shoulders and hips at the same height. So I'm gonna take all of this adorable roundness out and just have a nice flat back. I'm using my whole hand, so my fingertips are actively doing this work as much as my palms are. Taking a deep breath here. Again, squeeze the butt cheeks. Core is actively working. I'm not letting my belly relax right now. Feet are about shoulder width apart. Take one more deep breath here. Push the butt back. Walk the hands back. Drop the tailbone, roll to stand, exhale. All right, so we have two things that we just did that will continue to be on the menu. If you are ready to add to it, we're gonna walk it on out. You can take it to the modified plank or the standard plank. And if you are doing that modified plank, I'm gonna give you an option. Bring the knee towards your armpit and hold it. So again, the focus is on the quality of the form. I'm only adding if I'm still able to sustain the form. You can also do this from the modified plank. You can bring that knee over towards the armpit, whether you are down in the modified or the standard plank. Take another deep breath. Replace that foot, push the butt back, walk the hands back. Drop the tailbone, roll it up. So if you did it on one side, you gotta do it on the other side. Roll it down. Modified or standard plank, both continue to be perfectly good options. So I come to my plank, that's my first job, and then I bring the knee to the armpit, which again, I can do from the modified plank or from the standard plank. That knee is gonna stay up towards the armpit, and I'm gonna hold my back nice and flat. It's very easy when we start adding bells and whistles to lose the form, so I still wanna focus on that. Take another deep breath. Replace that foot back, push the butt back, walk the hands back, drop the tailbone, roll to stand. How we doing? I'm gonna keep throwing shit at you. I'm just gonna keep throwing spaghetti on the walls. Roll it back down. Modified plank and standard plank, both continue to be options. First coming out to our plank, getting that together. Then I'm gonna bring the knee just straight into my chest. So last time it was a little bit out to the side, now it's just straight down the middle. And I can also, as I mentioned, do this from the modified plank. It's not easy. Neither one of them are easy. Take another deep breath here. Replace that foot back, push the butt back. Walk the hands back. Drop the tailbone, roll it up to stand. Well, you know the deal. If you did it on this side, gotta do it on the other side. Otherwise, we'll look like Finding Nemo. He's got one fin, bigger than the other. All right, coming on back out. Finding our plank, and then if you want to add to it, knee comes into the chest. I'm gonna notice how my back wants to round when I'm doing this. So I have to remind my abs that this is their job, drop my heart, and hold steady using my arms, using my core, using my legs. Take another deep breath. Replace that foot back. Push the butt back. Walk the hand back. Drop the tailbone, roll it up. All right, we're going back down 2 more times. I'm gonna give you one more option. If you wanna take it, you can take it. Rolling it down. Walking it out. We're coming to that plank again. So we had the knee to the opposite armpit, right down the center. Now we're gonna take it, we took it to the armpit, we took it down the middle, now we're taking it to the opposite armpit. So I'm holding that plank, knee towards the opposite elbow or opposite armpit. You can do this from the modified. That is a perfectly challenging thing to do. I still have to hold it strong in the center, even though I have that rotation underneath me. My back is still relatively flat. Take another deep breath. Bring that foot back. Push the butt back. Walk the hands back. I imagine that you can guess what we're doing next. Any guesses? Is it the other leg? Yeah, you did it. Roll it back down. One more time. We're coming back down. We're taking it to that plank. And then if you're ready, you can bring that knee to the opposite armpit. So as I travel underneath, I'm still holding that plank. Both my arms are working nice and hard. My fingertips are doing their jobs. I'm trying to keep my back as flat as possible and have that rotation be underneath. One more deep breath here. Replace that foot back. Push the butt back. Walk the hands back. Drop the tailbone, roll it up. Exhale. Good gravy. That was a thing that happened. All right. Now I'm gonna come on down here to the end of the mat. Shift gears to roll it down for panda time. Panda time is a very important part of the day where we do whatever the hell we want. And it's mandatory fun. So if you feel like rocking side to side, do that. If you want to straighten out your legs, do that. If you feel like you want to roll out your hips a little bit, you can do whatever directions feel good there. Just listen to your body. Just check in, do a scan. What do I feel? Do I feel strain? Do I feel anything that wants to be stretched? Is there soreness? What do I got going on right now? I'm just checking in. And then if I feel like a particular type of movement or a particular stretch would feel good, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to take one more deep breath in panda time. And relax. Yay, panda time. All right, let's go through our core fundamentals. These are things that we do every time to get in the right mindset. So when I'm chilling on the ground, there is space between my back and my mat. That's normal. That's part of the spine's curvature. I'm going to flatten it out though by engaging my muscles, by tightening my core. I'm no longer just relaxed. It looks kind of like I am, but I'm tightening here. And then I'm going to find my pelvic floor and my glutes. I'm going to find those and I'm going to squeeze those. So engaging them means that those muscles are working, not necessarily that I lift them off the mat, but they're working. Then legs come to table, and I'm using my core to do that. Now, I'm going to lift my shoulders away from the mat. I'm not doing more with my neck than I was when I was just upright. My neck has always been resisting against gravity. Anytime I'm not laying down, I'm just lifting up my shoulders, using my core to do that. Arms at the sides, breathe in through the nose, and out through the mouth. I got a lot going on already here. A lot of stuff to think about. I'm going to add one more thing. That's tricep beats. Both arms, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. And for 5 arm beats, I'm going to breathe in through the nose. And for 5 arm beats, breathe out through the mouth. Let's say that I want to add even more to it. I can straighten out the legs and then rotate them out. So the feet are going to form a V, meeting at the heel. For 5 arm beats, breathe in. For 5 arm beats, breathe out. Again, my shoulders are lifted, middle back is flat. If the legs are straight, they're also turned out. And then if I want to add even more, I can lower those legs down. For 5 arm beats, breathe in. For 5 arm beats, breathe out. 2 more deep breaths. And one more time, best form yet. Bring the knees back into the chest and chill it out. So again, I'm going to go through that checklist. From relaxing all the way down, I'm going to tighten the core, flattening the back. My rib cage expands across the ground. I'm going to find the pelvic floor. Those are the muscles I use to stop peeing. And then I'm going to squeeze my glutes. All that stuff is relatively connected, so I should be able to find it. And then bring the legs to table. Again, lifting the shoulder blades up without straining the neck. This is about the abs, bringing my shoulders into spinal flexion. I'm going to leave enough room between my chin and my chest for a tennis ball, so I'm not straining the head forward. Hands next to the knees. Super easy. Drop the hands, legs go up. Inhale, come back. Drop the hands, legs go up. Inhale, come back. Super simple, so I can focus on what matters, and that is, what's going on with my spine? I'm keeping my middle back flat, my shoulders are up, I'm making sure that my neck is comfortable, and I am keeping the knees directly in alignment above the hips. That's not changing. 3 more. 1 more time. And relax. We're going to stretch it all the way out. Kick one leg up to the sky. Reach up above the knee. Get that leg as straight as you can. It doesn't matter how close the knee comes to your chest. What matters is that the leg is straight. And you know that leg can go all the way straight because it's straight when you stand. And the rested leg is also straight. So it can go straight. We just have to engage it. So it's not a passive stretch. We're actively doing it. Take another deep breath. And switch legs. Again, reach above the knee, because the knee is a hinge joint. So if I reach behind it or below it, it bends. That's just what it does. So I have to reach above the knee. And the focus of this particular stretch is the straightness of the leg. Take another deep breath, enjoying the stretch. Then we're gonna lift the shoulder blades up, point the toes, and we're gonna start going back and forth. Pull one leg in, and then the other. Middle back stays flat against the ground, shoulders are lifted, toes are pointed. So there's a lot of stuff to think about, but one thing I don't have to worry about is how close the knee gets to the chest. That is not my concern. That is not this particular stretch. This one is about the straightness of the legs. I can go slower, I can go faster. The point is the stretch. I'm getting a little bit of ab work here, but it's mostly about the stretch. So my shoulders aren't gonna be twisting or crunching. They just stay up in flexion. Real simple again. 2 more to each side. 1 more to each side. And relax, stretch it all the way out. So now I'm gonna bring the right knee into my chest. Right hand on the outside of the ankle. Left hand on the inside of the knee. So that's outside hand ankle, inside hand knee. And there's a rationale for that. It helps with the alignment, because if my hands are the other way, I will likely turn it out to the side. So I'm gonna go outside hand ankle, inside hand knee. Deep stretch here. And release. Same thing other side. Outside hand, ankle, inside hand, knee. So I can bring my knee to my chest and my foot to my butt and pull it in and enjoy that stretch. All right, much like we did with the last one, we're gonna lift the shoulder blades up, middle back flattens out, toes points, and we're gonna start going back and forth. Pull one knee in, and then the other. Remember that outside hand is on the ankle, inside hand is on the knee. Outside hand is on the ankle, inside hand is on the knee. All right, if you've done it a bunch of times, you probably have the muscle memory and you don't have to think it through. But if it's newer, odds are good that it's actually very counterintuitive. So you'll want to think it through. Bring one knee into the chest and then extend that leg straight. And as I'm doing this, I got a lot of stuff to think about. Middle back flat, shoulder blades lifted, hand position, toes pointed, listening to the hips. When I send that leg straight, I want to listen to my hips. If the hip pops, I'm probably going too low. And in which case, I'll aim the leg higher if I'm hearing my hip pop. 2 more to each side. And relax, stretching it all the way out. Enjoy that. We're going to take a little breather. Right knee into the chest. Take that right knee, push it to the left. Upper body opens to the right. Take another deep breath here. Come on back into the center. Left knee into the chest. I'm gonna take that left knee, push it to the right, open up the chest, twist to the left. Take one more deep breath here. Roll it on back into the center. All right, how are we doing? Was that an enjoyable break? You ready to get back to business? Business! All right, we're stretch it all the way out. Arms are gonna come up to the sky, head lifts up, shoulders lift up, 1 vertebrae at a time, roll it up, fold it forward. Inhale to straight back. Exhale to drop the lowest vertebrae, the one right above it, 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 all the way down. Arms hit the floor, raise back up, head lifts up, shoulders lift up, roll it up. So here's the thing that I'm focusing on. Not just cranking out reps, not just rolling up as fast as I can. It's about every single vertebrae taking the same pace. Every vertebrae gets its moments as the one, all the way up and all the way down. Now, when I roll up, I want to keep my legs totally still to the ground. So if when I'm rolling up, they do that little levitation fly up thing, bend the knees. I can glue my feet to the floor. Inhale, exhale to lay it back down, one vertebrae at a time. So again, I want to focus on one vertebrae at a time. Let's say I can't. Let's say that's not happening right now. I'm going to use my arms because that will help me control the pace. So as I'm laying it down, my arms can help do some of that work. So I can focus on what matters for this, which is the articulation of the spine and that steady pace. So this is a really great modification if you're having a hard time keeping that steady pace all the way through, or if you're having a hard time staying down the middle. We tend to unconsciously lead with one side, and some of us more so than others. So this can be helpful to get that balance between left and right. Again, you can plant the feet, you can have the legs straight. Use the modifications as they're useful to you. You are going to get stronger. The question is, when you do, will you have to unlearn bad form and then relearn it again, which is way harder than just learning it correctly in the first place. Our muscles remember the form that we use, not the form that we should use. Inhale to a straight back. Exhale to come back down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to do a couple more roll-ups. Trying to keep a steady pace all the way up, all the way down. Legs stay still as much as you can. And one more time. Legs stay still. Controlling that pace all the way down. And relax. All right, we're gonna do one more supine thing before we move on with our lives. All right, for this one, legs are gonna go straight up to the sky, and then arms are gonna go straight up to the sky. Lift the shoulder blades up. I'm reaching up, and everything is drawn up towards the ceiling, lifting, 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 like I'm suspended with ropes around my wrists and ankles. Oh, that's sexy. I'm gonna take my left leg, lower it down to the side, and bring it back up to the center. What happened to the right leg? Well, ideally we keep it up to the top. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to open it up to the side and bring it back up to the top. The challenge is keeping that one leg pointed to the sky. It's going to have a hard time. The leg that's supposed to stay still is really going to want to lean to counterbalance. So I have to work really hard to keep it there. One leg up, one leg lower. Listen to your hips as always. So if your hips are like, nah, then don't do it. Don't do that angle. Change the angle up. Shoulders are lifted, middle back is flat. So because I have my shoulders up and my arms up, my core has to do all of the balancing. Nothing else is helping it. Chest tall core work. Shoulders lifted, middle back is flat on the ground. One leg stays nice and still to the sky. Other leg opens out. So you're gonna line your feet up with a feature of the ceiling to try to keep that in the same spot. It is much easier to do if you're looking up than if you're looking a different direction. So if you look straight up, it is just technically easier to hold that leg still. Shoulders lifted, middle back flat. Now if you get tired, if your neck starts to hurt, whatever, you can always take a breather and then hop back in. We do this stuff for a while. We do a fair number of reps, so you could always take a break and come back. We're gonna do 10 more seconds. One more to each side. Lift the shoulder blades away from the mat. One more time. Shoulder blades up. And relax. Roll it on up to sitting. All right, we're going to take it to our sides. We're going to take it to the sort of modified side plank. Where did my timing device go? I don't know. Mysteries. All right, well, I will grab a different. Oh, that's funny. I'm stupid. All right, so we're gonna take it to this modified side plank. The things we need to know about this modified side plank, we're gonna use the whole hand. So I'm gonna make sure my fingertips are actively working and it doesn't just become my palms problem. I'm gonna check that my wrist is underneath my shoulder, because if this is happening or this is happening, those become much more of a wrist issue. So I wanna have that alignment. So as we're going through this, if I need to stop, move the hands, I will, okay? And then I'm gonna move my knees away. The further away they go, the harder I believe this is. So then we're gonna come up to this modified side plank. And that's our first task, is just hanging out here. I got my wrists under my shoulder, under my shoulder, under my wrist. And I'm gonna hold strong here. I'm gonna stay nice and stable, and I'm gonna get this ready to go. And then if I'm ready to add to it, I'm gonna take that top leg and I'm gonna draw a circle with it. If you want to, you can bring this hand down to this hip. That's up to you. Keeping this up here makes it a little bit harder to stay balanced. It's not that big of a deal, so it's up to you. But that top leg, we're trying to draw a real, actual, legitimate ass circle. I'm gonna keep focusing on both the modified plank, side plank, and that leg circle. Both of those things are happening. Now, switch directions on the circle. So clockwise versus counterclockwise. Strong and stable here. How is your butt doing? So far, it should probably be fine. This isn't too big of a deal. Ten more seconds with this leg circle. Again, I'm checking in, making sure my whole hand is taking this work. It's not just my wrist. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna bring the hand down. Leg stays lifted. I'm gonna pull it forward and squeeze back. Pull it forward and squeeze back. My knees shouldn't be too uncomfortable here on the ground because I want to put the weight more on the meat than the bones, so I'm not bringing it down onto the patella per se. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, pull it back. Trying to keep the foot the same height off of the ground the whole time. 10 more seconds. So I want to really visualize like a soccer ball is hanging and I'm going to kick it. 3, 2, 1. Bring it on back. We're going to bring the heels together. Knees are apart. Again, I can have my arm up or down, and I'm going to open and close. So again, if I feel like I need to adjust my hand, I will. I still have to keep modified side plank, so my hips are stacked. I can also take this down to a forearm. So the arm that's down on the ground, I can take it to a forearm if my wrist is like, nah, bitch. I can take it to fingertips, I can take it to fists, to a neutral wrist, but I can also just straight up take it down to a forearm. And that's totally fine. 10 more seconds. Open and close. 3, 2, 1 more time, and relax. We're coming on down here. The arm that was on the ground, bring it across your chest. Shoulder stretch. Take another big breath here. Bring that arm up and over. Tricep stretch. And then I'm going to open it out and around my back and use this hand to help do that. So I'm not yanking my wrist. I'm just holding still so that I'm opening up that shoulder to the back. Another option to get a better version of this stretch, quite frankly, is to rest your arm against a wall and pull away from it. But if I don't have a wall immediately near, this will work. Take another deep breath. And release. Good news. You have 2 butt cheeks. You get to do all of that again. Coming back over to this other side. So again, I'm going to use my whole hand. Or again, I could take it to forearms if that is what is necessary for my safety. Fingertips are working. Wrist is directly underneath the shoulder, so making sure it's not out here. It's definitely not over here. This is bad news bears. This angle, this little pinch here, bad news bears. The further away my legs are from my hands, I believe that makes it harder. I'm pretty sure that's true. And then we're going to bring it up into our modified side plank. So that's our first task. Wrist under shoulder, under shoulder, under wrist. And I'm super strong and stable here. And then I'm gonna start with those leg circles. So I'm drawing a circle on the wall over here while holding this side plank. Thinking about which muscles I'm using. So I am using my arm. My core is keeping me steady. Both my butt cheeks is working. The leg that is lifted off the ground, I'm resisting against gravity, but the leg that's still on the ground is doing a lot of work too. Switch directions on the circle. You might find that one direction in the circle is significantly harder than the other. That is not unusual. You might find that one leg is significantly harder than the other. Again, not unusual. We tend to have those asymmetries in our strength, and by doing this for roughly the same amount of time on both sides, we're trying to correct that. 3, 2, 1. All right, visualize your soccer ball. We're gonna lift that leg up, kick the soccer ball, and squeeze back. Exhale, kick forward. Inhale, pull back. So my challenge is keeping the upper body still. So I'm not rocking and swaying up here. I'm gonna use that arm. I'm gonna use my core. I'm gonna use my butt cheeks to stay stable in this modified side plank. And again, it's a lot of butt stuff. Pulling that leg forward to kick the soccer ball. Try to keep it at the same height above the ground the whole time. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna bring those heels together. And again, if I need to reset, I dang well will. And then I'm gonna open and close those knees. So heels are together, holding this modified side plank, using that whole arm, using that whole hand. This is not my wrist job. My core is working hard. My fingertips are involved. Open and close. We got 10 more seconds. Nope, that's a lie. We got 10 more seconds now. Okay. You're tough. You can do it. 3, 2, 1, and relax. The arm that was on the ground, I'm going to bring it across. Stretch out that shoulder. Taking a deep breath. And I'm going to inhale, and on the next exhale, take it up to this tricep stretch. The tricep stretch is great because it's not only a good stretch, but it's also utilitarian. It's really handy to be able to touch the middle of your own back for unzipping things, for when you need to put on sunblock and no one else is there. It's useful. Take another breath. And then we're going to straighten that arm out, bring it around, and then I'm going to help pull it. Again, this is a great one you can do just against a wall. So if I had a wall, I would press against it and then I would pull away from the wall so my arm is still on it. That would be how I would do that stretch. Take one more deep breath here. All right. And then we're going to do a couple butt stretches and then we'll move on to our final stretches. All right. I'm going to take my right leg up and over, pulling that knee into the chest. If I feel like it, I can take the left leg and fold it back too. But the really critical piece is that I bring my right knee into my chest. So I'm getting this stretch right here. Left arm up to the sky. Exhale, rotate right. So I'm twisting here. This is a perfectly good place to stop with my hands planted. If I want to, and I feel bendy enough today, my left arm here, I can thread it back. I have to be past the knee for this to work. And then my hands can find each other over by my left hip. But again, I have to twist enough at the beginning for this to work. And I may not feel that twisty today, and that's okay. So again, I've got this spinal twist, but I'm pulling my right knee really into my chest so I get to stretch to the outside of my right hip. Take a deep breath here. And release. Same thing on the other side. So starting out with straight legs, right, left. I'm gonna take my left leg up and over. So that left knee comes into the chest. That's the important thing. So when I feel that, I wanna get that stretch right here. If I feel like it, this right leg can come back. That just adds another level to it. Left knee to the chest, right arm up. On the exhale, rotate to the left. So I'm twisting here, and again, this is a perfectly good place to stop and just twist left. If I feel bendy enough and my right arm is far enough past the left leg, I can fold my arm back through, and the hands can find each other. But that's just an option. The important thing is I'm getting the stretch to the outside of my left hip. Take another deep breath here. All right, release from there. And I'm gonna separate my feet as wide as I can get them. And then I'm gonna scooch my butt a little bit further forward, keeping my feet wide. So I got my feet nice and wide. And then I'm gonna scooch my butt forward, see if I can go any closer into it. Yep, so we are working towards the middle split. Reach it up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands as far forward as you can get them. So I want to press into this stretch so that I can really feel it. It should be intense. It should not hurt. I'm going to feel the difference between intense stretch, which is something that feels like, oh, it's the bad kind of good. It's the good kind of bad, versus this is structurally dangerous. And I'm checking into my body and I can feel the difference between the two. So we want, oh, that's the good kind of bad. That's the bad kind of good. And we're gonna hold it there. We're not gonna be bouncing. We're just gonna hold it and breathe deeply. If you can walk your hands any further forward, do it. Take one more deep breath here. And bring it on back up to sitting. And we're gonna come back to our comfortable position, just like we did when we started. And we're gonna finish up with our final cleansing breaths. Breathing in gratitude. And once again, in celebration. And you did it! You did it, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it! Woo! Good job, team. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your adaptability as we try out different stuff with the sound. So what I did today was use the Bluetooth mic and then shared the sound through the share screen. So hopefully we're finding out something that is the best possible experience for you. Let me know if you have any feedback or if you ever have requests on things you want to work on or questions on forum or whatever. Like, just let me know. So that is sweatwithtimaree@gmail.com. And for those of you, I will see you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe, stay hydrated, take care of your adorable pets. Love you. Be well.